Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Dan from DHTV, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the AirPods 4, some tips, some tricks, and the settings. Let's get started. All right, so these are the Apple AirPods 4, and we're going to go through everything you can do with them. But for those of you who are looking for just the tips, the tricks, or the settings, you can use the chapter timestamps in the video description, and it'll take you there right away. So once you have your AirPods 4 unboxed, you want to connect them to a Bluetooth-enabled device like an iPhone or an iPad or even an Android phone. We're going to focus, though, on the iPhone right now, but I will show you later on how to pair it with other devices. So first, let's open up the control center here, and you want to ensure that Bluetooth is turned on. If it's not, tap, switch it on, and then we can move to our AirPods here and pairing them with the iPhone. The easiest way is to just bring the AirPods close to the phone and open the lid. You should see a screen pop up just like this. You can tap connect. You'll hear a chime. And that's it. You're connected. You're going to get some options here. You can read through them. I'm just going to tap the X because I'm going to show you all these features in this tutorial video. Now, when it comes to charging the AirPods 4, you have a few methods. First is using the USB-C charging cable, but because this is a wireless charging case, you can also place this on any QI wireless charging pad, or if you have an Apple Watch, you can even use the Apple Watch charger to charge the AirPods 4 as well. So you have about 5 hours of listening time using the AirPods 4. So let's say you've gone through all of that time and they're dead. You're just going to open up the case, place the AirPods right back inside, and it's going to begin charging them. Fully charged wireless case should give you about 30 hours of charge before it needs to be charged itself. Now, basic functionality with the AirPods 4 is pretty simple. You're just going to take them out of the case and place them in your ear. You can then start listening to your music or media from your phone, and it'll play through your AirPods. Now, there is a unique feature called in-ear detection, and this is on by default. So I've got audio playing on this phone right here. If I pull out one of the headphones here, it automatically stops. It's noticed it's not in my ear. As soon as I put it back in, the audio starts right back up. Now, in terms of controls, everything is done through this little stem. And if you look closely, there's a little indent there. This isn't actually a button, but what you're going to do is use different types of pinches, 1, 2, 3 pinches to activate different options. For example, you have a call coming in, press it once to answer the call. While in the call, you can mute by pressing it once and unmuting it by pressing it again. When you're ready to hang up the call, simply double press on the stem and the call will end. Now, if you're listening to music or watching movies, playing media, you can easily pause this by just pressing on the force sensor once, and it'll pause what you're playing. To resume, you're going to press it again. While you have music in, you can skip forward by double pressing and skip back by triple pressing. Now, if you have the AirPods 4 with noise cancellation in, if you press and hold on the stem, by default, it'll switch from noise cancellation to transparency mode. Now, I'll show you how to customize these in the settings, which I'll be going over a little bit later in the video. Now, you can use AirPods with Siri as well. You do need to have Siri enabled on your device, so you would need to go in your settings, Siri, and make sure that Siri is turned on. You'll also be able to activate Siri within the settings by pressing and holding. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. But once you have Siri set up, you can have Siri turn the volume up or down. You'll be able to ask Siri to resume, pause, play music, skip ahead, skip back. You can even ask it to skip back a specific amount of time. And a good one that I tend to use quite often is to ask Siri how much battery is left in the AirPods. Now, accessing your AirPods settings is pretty easy. You're going to go into settings here. You can either tap the AirPods if they appear up there. If they don't, you can go to Bluetooth. You can see your AirPods in this list. You want to make sure they're connected, so you may have to put them in your ear depending on your settings, and then you can tap the I. What we're going to look at first is that in-ear detection option, and we're going to scroll right down here, and that's this right here. So what it's set to is anytime I put these in my ear, it'll connect automatically. When I remove them, it'll disconnect. Just for this video, I'm going to turn this off so that they can stay connected, but it's going to automatically transfer the audio from your connected devices to the AirPods when they're placed in your ear. And you can also choose this option here to connect to this phone automatically or when last connected to this phone. Now we can continue with the settings. We'll go back to the top. First thing we have here is our battery, so we can see how much battery is left in our AirPods. We have the name, so we can actually change the name of our AirPods here. I've already changed the name once, but you can change it to anything you'd like. You just remove it, type it in. I'm just going to call them DHTV 4D. I don't know why I do that, but that's what I call them. And then just tap go back. And now that'll be the name, which it'll use throughout your iPhone with anything you use. Next, we have the noise control options here, which are only available for the AirPods 4 with noise cancellation. If you have the 4 that don't have it, you can skip to the next option. But for us here, the noise cancellation, the first option that it's set to is going to detect sound that's around you. And what it's going to do is counter it with anti-noise cancellation features so you don't hear what's going on around you. You're just immersed in the music, media, or the call that you're listening to. The next one we'll look at is transparency mode here, and this one lets outside noise in so you can hear what's going around you. And that's pretty important, especially if you're going to wear them in your car, or you're walking on a busy street. You can still hear your music or media, but at least you'll hear if there's a car coming or honking or a siren from a police car. So that's where transparency mode comes in. The adaptive noise control option is going to adjust the noise control settings between transparency and noise cancellation based on the surroundings, and it'll kind of flip between them. So you can set those as you'd like. Otherwise, you set them to off, and it's just going to cancel out any of these little microphones and sound allowing options that are inside. It's going to be like standard earphones. The next option here is what is going to control your AirPods when you press and hold on that stem. So you have left and right. We can tap on this and we can use the left side to do noise control or Siri. So if we change it to Siri, now we can access noise control with the right headphone, and the left AirPod will now access Siri when held. Additionally, we can control what noise control features we can use when we're using the press and hold option. So we set it to noise control, say on our right AirPod. We can have it flip between transparency and noise when we press, or we can even have it set between all of them. So now you press and hold once, it'll flip to noise. If you press and hold again, it'll switch to adaptive, again to transparency, and again to off. Set it up the way you like, but I keep mine like this because those are the only two that I really use. Now for everybody, we have the call controls. So what's going to happen when you answer, mute, or end a call? Now we can only control the bottom two options, so the end call, mute, and unmute. So for me, the end call is pressed twice and mute and unmute is once, but you can flip them so that the mute could be pressed twice and then automatically the end call will be pressed once. You set that the way you like. I like it like this because just one press to end the call is easier than double pressing for me. The audio here, personalized volume, which adjusts the volume of the media in response to your environment. So again, your media will go up and down in volume, kind of giving you a more consistent sound depending on what's going on around you. Conversation awareness, it's also going to lower the media volume and reduce the background noise when you start speaking to other people. Now, to give you a quick example of this, I've got some audio playing. I'll pull down my control center and we're going to open up my audio settings here. You can see that my conversation awareness is on. So what that has done since I'm talking, it's lowered the volume of my audio and it's turned on transparency mode so I can hear everything around me. I can conversate. If I stop talking, we'll give it a few seconds. Noise cancellation turns back on, the volume ramps back up, and I'm immersed in my audio once again. And that's what makes this such a game changer. You don't have to pull your headphones out. You talk, it lowers it, transparency opens up, you can listen, and you're good to go. And then we have adaptive. Now, this little bar here is going to allow you to customize the adaptive audio. So if you find that it's just doing too much, you want it to filter out less noise, you can move it to the less noise, or you can have it filter out more noise. If you're in a much louder or more noisy situation, it'll pull out even more noise. So you can set it that way, and you'll just have to play around with it depending on where you are if you need to customize it yourself. We talked about the automatic ear detection and connect to this phone automatically. So again, you can set that as you'd like. The next option is spatial audio. And if you don't know what this is, you can actually tap the see and hear how it works option right there. That's going to allow you to get an understanding of how good this actually sounds. It's better than stereo and it kind of immerses you into what you're listening to. You can also tap personalized spatial audio right here and customize this for your own ears. And it's going to do this using your iPhone camera to personalize the audio for the shape of your ears. It's really cool and it'll give you more customization with your listening experience. Moving down, we have the microphone option here. It's set to automatic. When you tap on it, you can choose to have the microphone activate on one specific AirPod or have it connected to automatic, which will allow it to automatically change from the left to right, depending on what will give it the best audio output. So you can set that here if you like. Head gestures are off. I'm going to go over that specifically in the tips and tricks section of this video. Enable charging case sounds. You can turn this on or off. If you connect your AirPods case to a charger, it's going to chime, and various other things will also enable a chime. Optimized battery charging will help reduce the battery aging. I strongly recommend you leave this on. It's going to wait to finish charging past 80% until you need to use this, and it's going to do that by kind of recognizing your routine. So if you charge it every night, it'll slow the charging process down and ramp it up when it's close to 80% and you're usually going to wake up. It's also in the iPhone, works well, and it'll help preserve your battery. The last one here is Find My, and this will help you find your AirPods if you ever lose them. Make sure that's turned on because these get lost very easily. And you can tap Show in Find My so you can see where it is, but you can always find them by opening the Find My app on your iPhone. If you've lost your AirPods, I have a whole video on how to find them. Use the card right here, and it'll walk you through the process of finding the AirPods, finding the case, and all the options within the Find My app so you can do so. Now let's go over some tips and tricks that you can use with your AirPods 4, or pretty much any AirPods for that matter. And the first one is to set up a battery widget. Now you can see my widget right here at the top. It's going to show you all the battery percentages of your iOS devices or Apple devices, including the AirPods. And the way I added this is very simple. You're just going to tap and hold on an empty spot on your home screen. You're going to tap Edit up top, and you're going to tap Add Widget. From here, your widget library will open up, and you can scroll down, and you want to find the one that says Batteries. Tap on that and you have some different battery widgets that you can add. So we already saw this one here. You also have a more detailed one, which will show you even more devices, but it'll be much bigger. Or you can use this smaller one. For this example, let's add the smaller one in. It'll automatically place it on your home screen. You can tap and hold to drag it around wherever you'd like, and then just tap Done when you're done. And now you'll be able to see the AirPods and the case either like this or with the full percentage like that. Additionally, anytime you want to see the battery of your device, you can just open it up like this. It'll pop up, show you the battery percentage of your AirPods and the AirPods case. For this next tip, we're going to take a look at live listening, a very popular and controversial option that's available within your iPhone and AirPods. Now, what it does is allow you to listen to anything that your iPhone hears through your AirPods. So, for example, if you left your iPhone in another room and you had your AirPods in your ear, as long as they're in range and connected, you can hear everything that's going on around this iPhone. So you can use this as a baby monitor. You can use this to hear what's going on all around you a little bit better. It's totally up to you. And the way you access it is very easy. You're going to open your control center here, and we're going to add the live listen. So you can tap and hold in an empty space, or you can tap the plus up here and then tap add a control. Now there's a few ways you can access this. The first one is to just type in the search bar, type live. As you see, live listen appears there. We can tap to add it. We'll swipe up to confirm it. And now we're just going to put the AirPod in our ear so that it is connected, and we can tap live listen. Now I'm hearing a complete echo in my ear of everything I'm saying. We can tap on Dynamic Island as well. This plays a part in this feature, and you can stop it from there. Additionally, there's another option here that you can use. We'll add that control. For this, I'm going to scroll all the way down. We want the hearing accessibility controls, and the one we want is called hearing. If we tap on that, it's going to add this one right here, which again, if we open this up, it's going to give us the live listen option. We tap on it, it's going to activate, but this time we can hear the headphone level. So just gives you a little bit more control. You also see in the control center, they work together. And additionally, again, Dynamic Island has played its part here. So again, we can stop it from Dynamic Island right there. And if you close out of it, sometimes it gives you the ability to tap on Dynamic Island again and even enable it back. Not sure if there's like a time limit on it because now it's gone. But that's live listen, how you can activate it, use it at your own discretion, but that's how it works. Now let's go back into our settings for this next AirPod tip. We're going to tap on our AirPods right here. Again, you need them connected for this, and we're going to scroll down to the section that says head gestures. We're going to tap on that. Now I'm going to give you an example of this right here on screen, but basically what I'm able to do here is move my head up and down or side to side to accept or decline calls, interact with or dismiss notifications, and interact with or dismiss announced notifications without speaking or using my hands. So as you saw by that example, I was able to do that, and the way you set it up is just by turning it on and then just customizing what you want up and down and side to side nods to do. So you can tap here, and when you accept or reply to something, you can set it to up and down nods or side to side. If you're declining or dismissing something, you can set it to side and up and down. Now, it makes sense to leave it this way because accepting is nodding your head usually, and declining is usually side to side saying no kind of thing. You can tap here to try this yourself and it'll go through the process, but you saw how it worked for me and see if the head gestures are for you. Now I'm going to show you how to pair the AirPods 4 to an Android phone or device, and it'll work the same pretty much for any non-iPhone device. You do need to reset the AirPods. If you don't know how, I'll be showing you that in one of the next tips. But for this, all you're going to do is open up your settings on your Android phone or other device, and you want to just find your Bluetooth settings here, and then you're just going to open up the lid on the AirPods, and you can see it's flashing white. And on this Android device, we're going to tap pair new device. Yours might pop up already depending on what you're using. And when you see AirPods appear, you're going to tap on it. If you get any prompts, just follow them. I'm not going to allow this. I'm just going to pair them. You'll hear some chimes, and that's it. The AirPods are paired with the Android device. Now, keep in mind, some of these features that are on the AirPods will not work. So for example, you do have the ability to use the pinches and you can skip ahead and things like that, but you can tap these settings here and you can see there's very few options that you do have available to you. Obviously, you can't use Siri, so you'll have to play around with it to see what works and what doesn't. But it is substantially less useful on Android and other devices than it is on iPhones or Apple devices. For this next tip or troubleshooting tip, I'm going to show you how to reset the AirPods 4, and there's a couple ways you can do it. It's different than before because there isn't a button on the AirPods, so you need to use a different method. But if they're connected to your iPhone, what you want to do is remove it from the list first. So what you want to do is go to settings here. You want to go to your AirPods, which mine are the DHTV 4D. You're going to tap on the little I again, and you're going to tap on forget this device. Tap it again, and then finally tap it one more time. If you don't see your AirPods on this list, just continue with this next step. It's pretty much the same thing, but we're going to open the lid on our AirPods, and you'll see on screen it shows not your AirPods. What we're going to do is double tap. When it starts flashing, we're going to double tap it again, and it'll start flashing a little bit faster, and then we're going to double tap it again, and it's going to go into this mode. You'll hear some beeps, and it'll start flashing white again. Now when we close the lid here and we open it back up, it's going to automatically be like we freshly set up our AirPods just like this, and we can go through the whole connection process of connecting it to our iPhone. This is a great way to fix that issue where it says not your AirPods. If you're trying to connect them, you can do this reset and it'll bring it back like this. For the next tip, we're going to go over how you can adjust the speed of how fast you click or press on these little stems here, and a few other accessibility options. So open up your settings, open up your AirPods settings here. Once again, you're going to scroll down and you want to find the option that says accessibility right there. Tap on it and you can control the press speed here, so you can make it slower or slowest. You can set the press and hold duration to be shorter or shortest. You can enable noise cancellation with one AirPod. If you like to save your battery by using one AirPod at a time, you can allow it to work with only one AirPod in your ear. I'm going to turn that on. And then we have iPhone and audio visual settings, which you can play with. Follow iPhone. And what this does is when you have it on, it's going to follow your iPhone rather than following your head movements for spatial audio stuff. But you can turn that on or off depending on what you want. And then tone volume, you can set that so it goes up or down. I'm leaving it as is. So those are some extra settings that you have in the accessibility section of your AirPods 4 settings. So that was the how to use the AirPods 4 tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the tips and tricks and you'll take advantage of the settings and the features within it. If you found this helpful or enjoyable, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification box so you're notified when I post new videos. And if you had any questions, let me know in the comments as well. I try to respond to every comment that comes my way and I'm happy to help you out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.